Look at this, it could easily be one of them uncontacted tribes on the Amazon. They've got a toucan and everything, but it's just Johnny Dixon and his crazy chick. Good morning guys, this morning's video requires a little bit of a risk assessment before we start. Got to make sure the weather's okay for what I've got in mind. So I always check several websites, check them against each other just to... Some websites that I trust more than others, but I'll take an average of what I see across a few of the weather websites. So what have I got in mind, I hear you say? Well, look, we've acquired the use of this little boat here. Beautiful little vessel. And hope it takes me on many adventures, but today we're gonna, as you saw there, the surf forecast was for 3 to 4 foot plus, so I can't go out the pier ends today, it's just too much of a risk. So we're going to stay in the harbour, we're going to stay on the river, going to head up towards Russup. There's some quite interesting things on the way up there that a lot of people won't have seen before, so stick with us and come on this adventure. I thought it was a heron, but it looks like it. Is it a heron or is it a goose? Yeah, it's too tall for a goose. It's too tall for a goose, I think. I think it's a heron, although it might be that peacock off the Barretts. Right guys, we'll head off now. We'll head off upstream, up towards Russup. I'll take my time. I won't go fast at all. I was down the harbour the other day, running the engine in, and Ewan was shouting out the window of the harbour office, "Too fast, too fast!" I didn't think I was hardly moving, but obviously I was going too fast. So we won't be doing that today, we'll just chill out up to Russup, show you the scenes as we go. It's a beautiful day, it's the first time the sun seems to have shone in a lifetime, but it's out today and we'll make the most of it. Yeah, one of the reasons I came up here, I wanted to show you these little river houses. Absolutely idyllic. I mean, who wouldn't want to live there? I'm not sure if you're allowed to live there or if you're only allowed to stay a certain... Some of these properties, you know, you can only stay a certain amount of nights per year and stuff. I don't know what the situation is with these. But where else would you love to spend a summer's evening than there? And there's lots of them if you look. I mean, who would believe, here we are, 200 yards up the river from the new bridge, and you've got these beautiful little houses, wooden huts, whatever they are, but I bet it's great to be sat in there on an evening with a, you know, a log fire going and chilling out. Now then, something you see all the way along this stretch of river are the herons. Herons are always fishing, especially on an incoming tide, and as we go along I expect to see one or two just hidden away doing his thing on the quiet. Well, I can see one now ahead, see if he spots us or see if he stays fishing. There's he spotted a fish, got it. Now the next interesting little bit just round this corner I call the Trawler graveyard. Something else a lot of people who come to Whitby maybe haven't seen. Well, there's a heron up there near the Trawler graveyard, as we'll see. On the incoming tide they're all here in the shallow waters fishing away. Might see quite a few today. These little cobbles in here, this is where they come to die. Yeah, once loved trawlers and cobbles, but no more, just wreckage. But somehow quite beautiful as well. I'm certainly not complaining about them being here. I think it's an interesting little spot to sit and look at. Think about who owned them and where they went in them and what fish they caught and how their lives were back then. Really interesting. And then, wow, look at that, Larpool Viaduct, Whitby's Larpool Viaduct. Imagine travelling over that on a train on your way from Scarborough over to Middlesbrough. Would have been one of the most beautiful lines in the country, probably one of the most beautiful in the world, but sadly no more. You can take a walk across there, but it's no more trains. Not allowed. Not allowed. So here under the viaduct we've got Captain Cook's Haven. I think it's mostly holiday lets and second homes. I think there's something in the legislation says you can only live in them 11 months of the year, so they're not suited to permanent residents, I don't think. Quite often on this stretch of the river here, you quite often get a seal or two hanging about, waiting for the migratory trout and salmon to come up. They wait for them to come so far up, and then the fish can't get any further, especially if it's not been raining, so they hang about in the deep pools up here, and that's like just easy for the seals to pick them off. Another clever animal is a seal. Doesn't have to do too much work, just a bit of thinking and he catches a nice trout, much to the anglers and landowners' disgust. They like the fish for themselves. Are they going to bring them onto the river? Are we going to get the goslings swimming? That would be a sight, wouldn't it? Here they come. How many goslings have I? 1, 2, miss a few, 99, 100. So here we are, guys, Russup. Just up there, just near the bridge, there's all the kids from the East Barnby Outward Bound Centre. I'm not going to film them, I'm not going to film them too closely anyway. But they're on the river having a great time. Imagine being that age again. Best years of your life. Away from school with all your mates. Having a right laugh. And being allowed to take risks. Been allowed on the water and allowed down the river. And that's something fantastic for a child. We shouldn't restrict our children too much.